Hello, good day. Yes, in this virtual class we'll be looking at this questions on bearing. The question says find the compass bearing of 68 degree north east and the true or three figure bearing of 68 degree north east. Now in compass bearing, essentially we make use of the four cardinal points. North, east, south, and west. Okay, so the first bearing here is 68 degree northeast. So here this can be situated in this part. Okay, so here let's take a look at this. So no, usually we are not measuring it to scale here, but we just know that this is 68 degree northeast, moving from north to east. So okay, so from here, let's assume this point here is A. Then this point here, where this line will move, there's usually another four cardinal point. To illustrate this, assuming this part is B. Okay, if we label this is north, east, or south and west. This is the bearing we are looking for. Okay, so here, if you look at this angle here, you look at this angle, here, this angle, and this angle here, they form what we call the Z angle. So this angle here is 68 as well, because they are alternate to each other. They look like Z. If you look at the shape, it look like. So they are alternate. Now, if you look at this bearing, now if you want to interpret this bearing 68 degree northeast, if you look at it from here, is 68 degrees south, moving from here southwest. Okay, so the bearing 68 degree northeast is the same thing as 68 degree south west. So that is the bearing of 68 degree northeast. They say and also find the true or three figure bearing of this same 68 degree northeast. Now in three figure bearing, we are looking at moving start from the north. You must start from the north in a clockwise direction. So if we are looking at this place here, we can also interpret it. We are looking from the bearing of what? A from B. Where will B move until, if it move in a clockwise direction, it will going to move from here like this until it hits this line here, this line AB. So that is the angle. And if you look at it here, it's going to be, this line is a straight line, which is 180. So this will be 180 plus this angle here, this bearing is 68 degree. And if we add this together, this will give a 248 degree. This is the three figure bearing of 68 degree northeast. So now, one thing we should also know about this three figure bearing, especially if we are dealing with just bearing, okay, we can also use what we call back bearing. Anytime the bearing given is less than 180 degree, all you need to do is just add the bearing measure plus 180 degree. That will give you the bearing. Okay, but on the other hand, if the bearing is more than 180, you're going to write that bearing given, the angle given. Let's say the bearing given here is more than 180. Let's say it's 252. So the bearing will just be 252 minus 180. That is how to use what we call back bearing in resolving simple question of this nature. Please, if you find this video very useful, let me subscribe and also follow my page, comments, like, and